As a bishop, usually I have two fears, like a joke for you at the beginning. The first fear, I always afraid the deacon will read another gospel. Sometimes happen. And usually we use the gospel for preaching, no? And the second one, when I preach in non-Ukrainian language, the second one, fear, I'm afraid I will come here and I will not find my homily here. But fortunately, everything is starting well now. The gospel is from today's Sunday, and I found my homily here. And my English is not so good to speak you directly and spontaneously, and I have to read. Sorry for that. In today's gospel, Jesus said, "The day will come when there will not be left a stone upon another stone that will not be thrown down. Nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be powerful earthquake, plagues from place to place. They will put some of you to death." On the basis of today's gospel, some preachers of the world try to talk, and even more, try to calculate the date of the second coming of Christ. Indeed, it seems that Jesus is talking about the time when the end of this world will come. However, I want to draw your attention to something else. Today, Christ reminds us that nothing is certain in this world because everything passes. This is what is important for us to understand, not when exactly the end of the world will come, but knowing that everything in this world passes away quickly, can change our life for the better, and focus our attention on the main thing, on God. The Ukrainian people have already experienced that everything passes away when this terrible war between Russia and Ukraine began. Why did we experience it? Because during this war, many people lost everything that they had in lifetime. To give you an example, I will tell you a story. Refugees from eastern Ukraine arrived at the church near the city of Kyiv, precisely from the territories where the fighting was ongoing. One woman was standing and crying because someone called her and told her that a shell had hit her house and the whole house had burned down. Her husband was standing next to her, silently hugging her. Both of them were not young anymore, they were around 60 years old. But in a state of grief, they looked even older. Nearby, a young couple was standing with a child in their arms. The young woman, after coming up and finding out what the matter was, tried to comfort the older woman with the words, "Don't cry. The main thing is that you are alive. You will still earn money and rebuild your house." Will they earn? The young couple may earn money, even if they escaped from the occupied territory, but they still have a life ahead of them. And will the older couple still have the strength and opportunity to earn money to build a house again and buy all necessary things? During this war, many people in Ukraine lost their members of the family and close friends. The people close to us are passing away. I will say you another story. About a year ago, a young Catholic guy, he is my neighbor from my house, a young Catholic guy met a girl from Moscow online. They wrote to each other, communicated, fell in love. She came to Ukraine and they planned to get married in a church. Suddenly, the war began and he was called to defend the country. He fought courageously for several months, defending the city of Mariupol, and then disappeared. The armed forces of Ukraine defended Mariupol in an unequal battle and were surrounded for more than 80 days. Now the city is completely destroyed by the Russians. More than 22,000 civilians died there. 50,000 were deported to Russia. After some time, the body of this guy was found. He died defending this city. Recently, the local bishop conducted his funeral. The Russian girl cannot return to Russia because she fears for her life and the safety of her relatives in Moscow. Fortunately, the groom's family accepted her and she decided to become a Catholic, and now she is preparing for the first confession and Holy Communion. But as we can see from this example, people close to us are also passing away. And during this war, many people in Ukraine lost their health, which is often irreversible. Many people lost their lives, so even we are passing away. As an example, I will tell you one more story, the last one. The father who has 10 children sent them all together with his wife, their mother, to neighboring Poland. We have Father Martin from Poland here, and went to defend the country. Actually, he didn't have to do it, as all those who have 3 or more children are exempted. That's right, yeah? Exempted from the military service. For the first 3 months, he fought courageously, and didn't forget about God. He offered the young soldiers to bless them every morning, as he did it at home for his children. At first, few people agreed, but over time, men noticed that those who received his blessing in the morning were alive and healthy in the evening. Later, the entire squad leaned up to this father for a blessing. I will fight with them until victory, he told me. However, 3 months later, he was hospitalized. He needs a heart valve replacement. Due to constant bombardment, physical fatigue, emotions, lack of sleep, his heart can stop at any time. The doctor said, no hard physical activities and worries, because you can die. God willing, he will have a successful operation, but he will not get his health back as it was before. We see from his example that health is also passing away. That is, you and I are weak, we get sick, we get old, we die, so we pass away. The days will come when there will not be left a stone upon another stone that will not be thrown down. From today's gospel. Everything passes away, material things, people close to us, ourselves. Only God does not pass away, and this is good. Pope Francis once said, "Only God is enough for us, and let everything else pass away." Indeed, when we lose everything, but do not lose God, we will find everything again in Him one day. When we lose God, together with Him we lose everything forever. When the war began, one on my greatest fears, I speaking seriously now, was that our people would lose faith in God and thus lose Him. War, which brings destruction, suffering, and death, is a test for every person's faith. Today, when the war has been going on for almost nine months, I can say that I'm proud of my people in Ukraine who have lost so much, relatives, health, homes, but they have not lost faith in God. They continue to go to the church. They are praying for a quick victory. Moreover, many of our Catholics thank God for helping us expel the Russians from our diocese and from the city of Kyiv. Faith in God is the greatest treasure and the strongest help for a person. In addition to faith, we were strengthened by the solidarity of the entire civilized world. Humanitarian aid began to arrive from all countries: food, medicine, clothing. We heard many words of support. Our army provided with weapons sent by friendly countries like United States. All this also gives us strength and confidence in our victory. Today, God brought me to you from Kyiv to thank you on behalf of all Ukrainians for your support. We are grateful for your continued prayers and all your help and support that many of you have given and are giving. We Ukrainians have great hope in your help. There has never been such great respect for your country in Ukraine before. Thank you very much, and may God bless you also for today's funds that you are collecting for my Kyiv Zhytomyr diocese. The Mass today is offered for all your veterans. We honor your veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. What they did for your country today, what they did for you today, they will did for tomorrow. Being here with you today also make me think of all the soldiers in Ukraine who are fighting to save our country, like your veterans did in the past. I ask you with all my heart to think of them and pray for them that God will help them and give them courage to fight and bring an end to this terrible war. Prayers is the best weapon for peace in the world. Thank you.